In Formative Assessment 1, you're using note cards to determine a child's understanding of shapes. And as it was described already in the setup, you're going to break your students into centers or workstations, and the other stations will have some other activity related to shapes. But at the carpet, it'll give the teacher an opportunity to work individually with students in a small group of about 4 or 5 students, depending on how many are in your classroom and how many you assign to groups. And at this station, the teacher will hand out flashcards with all the shapes on them to the students at her carpet. And then the teacher will call out a shape, and the student will have to look through their note cards to identify the shape that matches the shape the teacher is talking about. So the student will then hold up that shape, and the teacher will peruse her small group to see which students got the shape correct and which students didn't. Now, for those students, if all of her students get it correct, she'll just move on to the next shape and possibly have one of her students identify specific characteristics of the shape. For example, the number of sides, or how it differs from another shape in their note card pile. If some of the students get the shape correct and some of the students do not, this is a good opportunity for the teacher to have another student who identifies the correct shape to explain to other students in the group about what makes that shape the correct shape. For example, if it's a triangle, the student might say, well, triangles have 3 sides, and this is the only shape in my pile that has 3 sides. If the teacher is in a group of students and none of the students get the shape correct, she knows then that she's either going to have to provide additional instruction to that student beyond the small group, or she's going to have to create a mini lesson within her small group to go over some of the less difficult shapes like circles, squares, and triangles before she moves on to more difficult shapes like spheres or octagons or hexagons, things like that. But this is a really great way to engage students to work in smaller groups with students, with the younger kids in a kindergarten classroom, and to really have the teacher be given the opportunity to gauge which of her students understand shapes and which ones need additional instruction.